All right. Welcome to the world of the White Lotus Society. Now, I'm gonna give each of y'all your little intro pieces before we really lock into all of y'all meeting each other. Okay?
Mm.
So, Quay, aka Lemisk, you are in a prison cell, waking up to the sound of metal clanging against the bars. Hey, wake up! Wake up! You hear over and over.
I guess it's finally time. The Lord has blessed me with another day.
Here he goes talking about
Thank
the Lord
God.
again. Oh.
I
You
did my
hear
Durant favor.
you hear a guard walk into your room. You now realize that the door is open. It has been unlocked. Lemisk, we're here for your early release. If it were up to
Alright.
me, you'd be in here for who knows how long. But Commissioner says y'all made an agreement. I don't know what it was. I don't care. Something about a meeting with a guy named Forsyth. He's dead now, so whatever. Regardless, we're here to escort you.
Alright. I grabbed my things. Grabbed my holy book. My the letters that were sent to me by my children. And my picture of a happy family that I once had.
Big ass family. Too many damn kids.
I look at this person who is coming to collect me. I understand that he is frustrated and he doesn't necessarily care for me. So in my mind, I'm just gonna try to get this over with so I can get out.
All right. As he takes you, he does out of necessity as he has to. He does put you in cuffs to remove you from the prison. Um and you see behind him is a very large man who hasn't said a word. This very large man is like kind of looking at you. He's kind of like like he's eyeing you up almost as if he wants to, almost as if it were up to him, he would deck your shit clean right now, potentially. um and you notice that when the guy that had just handcuffed you, you notice when he passes you over to this bigger guy, uh, that this bigger guy, actually, you know what? Let's go ahead. First roll. Quay, I want you to do a nice little dex roll for me, right quick.
Okay.
A nice little dex roll.
Uh, first roll of the chat of the day. Good thing I put points in this shit.
Ooh, a 50. Uh, you notice that as you're being like put basically pushed into this other guy, you can tell neither of them like you. As you're being basically pushed in this other guy, this bigger man is basically trying to reach into your pocket. They left you with, a some amount of money. You are a former crime boss after all. It's not like you have like a normal prison cell. So you have a little bit of money on you, and you can tell that he's trying to rob you as you're pushed over. What do you do?
Well, this is just another test for my lord, for the god himself. I put my hand on Bud's face and look him dead in the eye. I emit a lot of killing intent as I look him in the eye. Right.
Okay.
I'm a roll. I'm rolling.
You're rolling. You know what? Go ahead. Roll strength. Roll strength. Go ahead. We'll double up on rolls. Go ahead. Why not? You know what? I'll also roll strength as well. God damn.
What the fuck?
God damn.
How do you wait? You know, it's okay. Whatever. It's okay. So
it was literally just a strength check, bro. It was just a strength check. You know what?
That's crazy.
It was just a...
So are you rolling for the other guy?
Yeah, I was rolling for the other
Yeah.
guy.
Oh, that's so
You had to
fun.
fudge that down like 54 points.
Yeah.
Nah.
No, it was literally
No,
he just
I know,
has
I know,
he
yeah.
has 10
He just
strength.
is.
He just has 10 strength.
He's just that guy.
I mean, it's not even that much different than Quay. Quay has 6.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's one level different.
Yeah, it's literally one level different. He's level 3.
You know, look, I'm like, my character is like 45.
Yeah.
Right.
It's all right. It's all right. It's okay.
It's
You're
alright.
not the man you once were.
Yeah, I give my.
I will
give
say
my-
though that he thinks that he realizes you trying to stop him, and he realizes that you caught him trying to basically snatch you. And he, whether it be out of like him not wanting to deal with the repercussions or him just feeling sorry for you, he decides to not rob you blind. And he just leads you through to the gate of the prison.
And I sing the praises of the Lord. I see another day without the pressures of violence. He who is grand in his plans has shown me another way. I will prosper. I pray as I walk out of the elevator outside to see whoever I need to see.
When you get out there, the guards basically they don't want anything to do with you. They unbreak your cuffs and immediately leave. There's a messenger outside of the gates of the prison there to pick you up and also to fill you in on what's happened since you last have been out. You were in prison for 10 years. It was supposed to be a 25-year sentence. And so you meet this small messenger that I honestly was so insignificant in my brain that I didn't come up with a voice for. So I'm just going to tell you this as me. And this is just the words from the messenger, okay? So you basically get told, hey, a lot's changed since before you went in the pen. You were supposed to basically made this deal that reduced your sentence, but in return, you would work under a team with the Slayer Corps that was new at the time. It was called Forsyth's Legion. Forsyth no longer lives, and that's kind of a weight off your shoulders, because Forsyth was a rival mob boss, basically. He was a rival family, the head of a rival family. He had so much money that he had bought his way into a team in the Slayer Corps, and basically your deal revolved, like, you basically getting inducted into his family. It was a whole mess and kind of pissed you off. So the fact that he's dead, great relief for you. Unless this whole this whole revolution in your mind of holiness has made you say, like, oh, well, maybe that's not good. But in theory, it's a relief.
My lord smites my enemies as well.
And so because the deal was made in the presence of the commissioner originally, because it was when Forsyth was making his team, the commissioner has stated that you still get out early because you can't control whether the guy died or not. And you are still mandated to join the Slayer Corps, but you no longer are relegated to one team. So you are now being released because your sentence has been reduced, and tryouts are happening now for the Slayer Corps. There are hundreds of people lining up at the giant stadium coliseum in the center of town. So, with that being said, this messenger just is like, hey, let's take a trip on down to the stadium.
All right.
Y'all get to the stadium. It's not too far. You're probably like, if you're looking at the map, your prison is probably somewhere around like here-ish. And y'all just make it to the Coliseum within like 10 minutes. The problem is, you enter with notoriety. You get there and it's kind of like prison rules, which funnily enough, you just got out of. Everybody's looking at you as you're the guy to beat. Something to keep in mind.
I clutch my holy book as I wave to everyone who's looking at me. Hello, youngins.
Oh, here he goes. the youngins.
I'm pretty sure you've heard of me. Well, I'm here to tell you I am no enemy of you. For you see, in the eyes of the Lord, we are all family. I walk away from the crowd into the starting line.
Okay. All right. And as you take your seat next to other participants, we move to the western gate of town. A young man rolls into town, or rather in front of the western gate of town, and is greeted by a tall, kind of like grizzled Ronin-esque man. He turns to Lake and says, all right, kid, this is where we're meant to be.
Where exactly is here?
So, okay. I guess I didn't explain the full thing. This is the White Lotus Society. What we do here is, so you like killing monsters.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like what we do, is kill monsters. And,
Gotcha.
I couldn't help but notice you got a very unique skill set. Not many people doing the camera stuff anymore, which is funny because it originated here. You're not even from here. And you also have access to something that I haven't seen in a long time. I saw how you was fighting some of those monsters when we were fighting. And I gotta ask a question. You know a thing or two about Quay, don't you?
I know my way.
Okay. Alright. And he like kind of turns towards you. He like looks at you. And he's like kind of like scratching his chin. He's like, And he like smiles a little bit. And he's like, yeah, I think you got potential. So here's the deal. We've kind of got this competition of sorts for hunting monsters. That's like what we do. Like I said earlier, we have a competition for it. They're separated into teams, and you don't feel much like a team player per se, but it's separated into teams, and I feel like you would be able to find a good spot on one of those teams. In fact, I actually am the captain of one of those teams. That's why I brought you here.
I don't know if I can do teams.
Don't worry about it. See, I'm not too keen on the whole team thing either. But, you know, if you're good enough, it doesn't really matter, does it? Now, right through this gate, you're gonna see a road that leads straight to a giant coliseum. When you get to that coliseum, you know, I'll be there waiting for you. We're doing tryouts today. And with that, he walks through the gate, and then you kind of see him like turn into like to the left, like not down the road that he was talking about meeting you at. Obviously, he has a different place to be at right now. So you walk through the gate. And as you walk through, you see two basically masked figures running with like items on them. You can tell obviously like they were running from some kind of shopkeep. They just robbed somebody blind. Now they are running directly in your direction. Do you choose to do anything about it? And that's all there is to it.
I see that they're sprinting at me. It's pretty obvious that they're not in the right.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and trip one of them.
Okay. Go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll agi for me. Go ahead and roll agility.
Is it 5? Is that how that works?
Yeah, that would be correct. Okay. Let me check your sheet. Yeah, it's 5 agility. That's, man, we are.
That's a rough one.
That's a rough one. You know what? Because of how low that was, I'll make it a competitive roll. These guys aren't that fast. They're the same. They're like level 1s also. They're not like the level 3 guy that Quay had. So this is, you're dealing with a 2 agi guy right now. So maybe, god damn! Why I can't roll like this in Bleach? What?
That's the DM diff.
What the heck?
DM give plus 50 on all rolls.
What? I like tried to make it a competitive thing. Like his agi's worse. Alright, then I'll have the motherfucker roll dex to see if he notices you got your foot out then. That's not what I meant to do. This is what I meant to do. Well, actually, I can just add to that. And I'll say, okay, so his dex is 5. He doesn't notice that. He doesn't notice you got your foot out. So it doesn't matter if he's able to dodge it. He doesn't notice. And he like kind of gets caught by your foot, but he's like hopping on one leg. So he doesn't get like tripped, but it like stops his momentum. He kind of like looks at you, kind of like with his eyebrow raised. And he like stops. He goes, "What was that for?" What?
Oh, fuck.
What? Why? And his friend kind of turns around and he looks, he's like, "What's wrong?" And he looks over, they look at you. And like, "This fucking kid tripped me. He tried to trip me." And he looks over at his friend, he goes, "I mean, want to do anything about him?" And so now they're like kind of looking at you confused. They're kind of like they want to jump you, but they also don't like, do they care? You've caused a very confusing situation.
I'm gonna book it in the direction they came from.
Well, they're not gonna follow you because they just robbed somewhere in that direction. So you do get away.
Thank God.
You get away, Would have been very funny. They're pretty weak, actually. You probably could have taken them. So you keep going, and you make it to the Coliseum. And upon reaching the Coliseum, you walk in. You hear everybody cheering, chanting, obviously for current trials that are happening and certain like notable figures that are appearing. And as you appear, almost as if on a cue, as if this was some kind of show or something, you see, in the middle of the stands, at the front of the Coliseum, there's a giant platform with 14 chairs. A giant chair in the middle, obviously being the commissioner's chair, but you see on the far left, you see Vin walk from the steps up and take his seat in the chair.
Mhm.
Him being one of the 13 leaders, of course, and he kind of like looks at you,
Gotcha.
as if he has an inclination of something that just occurred. He kind of looks at you and laughs. And he looks away. Now, you go take your seat over by the rest of the contestants. You're seated in the same like category or group that Lemisk is in. And
Mhm.
from there, we move to the north side of town. On the north side of town, there is a knight in broken armor walking through the gate with an annoying little guy next to him. So, Crosswise, Nighlin.
Yeah. Hey, Eden.
You are walking. Well, you already had something planned. Go for it.
Is this the place?
Yeah, it is. This is the place. Wait, I forgot. Oh, wait. Crosswise. While we're here, you can't tell them about the thing.
Oh.
You can't tell them about they can't know about the sword thing. They can't know that.
Oh, no problem.
That's
Less
like a
words
bad
are
thing.
easier.
Great. See, that's why you're perfect. That's why you and me make the perfect duo. It's because
It's good.
you don't gotta do the talking. Me, I'll be the best manager you ever had.
Yeah,
Okay.
you do all the talking.
Of course.
You got 'em, Eden.
Absolutely.
And if they try to make you look small, make them look smaller.
That. What did you mean by that?
What do you mean?
Never mind. Don't worry about it, kid. We're gonna do great. We're gonna be stars. You and me. Just like
Yeah.
back in the day. Ignore what you may have heard about the past 4 people that I've managed. Ignore that. Regardless, you and me, we're gonna do great things. We're gonna change the White Lotus Society forever.
I believe you, Eden.
Didn't expect him to be so loyal to Eden. I thought he'd hate him. All right. Well, while we're here, so the reason I brought you here is because I think you can be part of the Slayer Corps. It's this whole organization we have that like hunts monsters. You kind of already did that, but you also hunted people. You're like a mercenary. I get that. You
The
know.
greatest of monsters, yeah.
Yes. Yes, Crosswise. And we, basically there's gonna be this giant coliseum when we walk through this gate. It's down this road. We're gonna enter there, and that's where they're doing tryouts for this organization where we're gonna hunt all the monsters. It's gonna be great. All right, you're basically a shoo-in. You're one of the best candidates I've seen in years.
If you think so, Eden, then I am.
Thank you. Nobody's ever given me credit for my better judgment before. Well,
Of course.
after you go through the gate.
All right. I pick up Eden. And I walk him in.
You guys.
All right, Eden. You look out for any bads that walk by.
Of course.
Keep you on my
of course.
shoulders. Just so you have a higher vantage point.
Absolutely. See, this is why you and me we make a great team. You and I. See, you stay down there. You carry me. I'll look out from up here.
Yeah.
While you guys are doing your chicanery at the gate, you guys begin walking forward. You're not stopped necessarily, but you kind of like, there's a guy that like passes by who kind of looks at you. He goes, hey, you seem like somebody that's not from around here. You meet a like you meet a like kind of big guy. He's obviously some form of nobility. He has like, he isn't what you would classify as a warrior, but Eden seems to recognize him immediately. He informs you that this is one of the captains. He is the captain of the Royal Order, is the name of the team. The Royal Order is a team. The reason this guy took a notice in you is he can kind of tell there's like a certain type of energy that resonates from the Chained Lands. And this guy, obviously you can sense it off of him as well. This guy is from the Chained Lands. His name is Duke Martin. He's not what you would imagine would be like the captain of a monster slayer group, but he's like this kind of tall guy. He has glasses. He's kind of got he obviously gives the appearance of a knight, but he's kind of got like a red robe on, you know, like he's not what you would envision the stereotypical like envisionment of like a strong knight.
Gotcha.
He kind of looks at you. He goes, you're not from around here, are you?
I go down to one knee and I go, no, sir, I'm not.
You don't need to be so formal with me. Not here. This is, their rules don't reflect ours.
I stand upright and I go, of course. I am from the Chains Lands myself.
Yeah, I can sense that. You're with him, and he points to Eden, who's
Yes.
kind of like trying to look away. He's like scratching his head. He's like, I'm not even here right now.
Eden, surprisingly, believes that I can do something here. So I've done what I can to protect him on our way here.
Oh, does he? Does he? Can I tell you something about Eden for a moment? Just over here. Just come over here. Eden kind of like look. He has like a sad look on his face. He's like, please stop.
I say, don't worry, Eden. It'll be a second.
Okay, so between you and I, well, while he hasn't found a new, he calls himself a manager. Well, he hasn't found like a new body in a while. The past 3 have died within like a week of him meeting them.
It's understandable. See that he's looking for somebody who can sustain some damage, and I'm sure the other guys were just less than worms.
Oh.
In fact.
You just see him put like his head in his hands. He's like, oh, he's a fucking idiot. This guy's stupid. Okay, very well.
Don't worry, I'll prove him right. You know, Eden doesn't get it right the first time. Maybe not the second time. Maybe even not the 5th time. But sometimes.
Well, to be fair, he has brought us one of our greatest as well.
I've
You
heard
see-
tales.
One of the current captains was actually one of his. But I've got to go. I'm assuming you're heading to the same place.
Probably. Wherever Eden says I have to go.
Okay. Well then let's go.
Okay.
And
I go
he-
back and I holler at Eden.
Oh, of course. He what did he tell you?
Same as what you told me. Basically that you're you're a great manager, and that some of your previous folk they couldn't handle your teachings, but I'll
He-
make sure to make you
You
proud.
really said all that?
Yeah, that's
Wow.
what I heard.
Huh. And he's like kind of like awestruck. He's stun locked. He can't speak. And so he all just walk to the Coliseum. I didn't expect Crosswise to be so into Eden. I really thought they'd be like opposites. Okay. Yeah, and you get there and everybody is immediately kind of scared of you because they can detect the energy of the chained lands. You kind of get some people some boos, much like Quay did earlier, and it's they definitely don't view you in like a great way, because the people from the chained lands, this is common knowledge, I guess. So it's something that even like other competitors would take note of, is like people from the chained lands are not regularly supposed to be outside of the chained lands, and vice versa. So when somebody is present from the chained lands outside of it, it's like it is a big deal. And you take your seat next to the other competitors.
Look, Eden, they're scared of us.
Oh my god, end the phone call as his part ends.
That's
Beautiful. Beautiful. So he takes his seat next to the other competitors with his manager, and we go to the east gate of town, where we meet a young nomad by the name of Osei. So, Josh, Osei, are you there? Oh,
Yes.
you are. Hello. So, you are walking into town, and you are, funnily enough, I didn't realize this, you're the only person that doesn't immediately have like somebody they're attached to, I guess. But you walk into town, you're currently drawn to the White Lotus Society, obviously because it was the birthplace of your now deceased friend, who has, in like around a year and a half-ish ago, died of an illness. You have traveled the world seeking this place out, and you are finally here. You walk in and notice that this place is not as great as you thought it would be from what she told you before her passing. She made it seem like the White Lotus Society might have been like this, this great pinnacle of science, which it is, to be fair. But you walk in and immediately can tell that this place is a very dangerous, not great place. As you're walking in, you notice a lady on the ground who has recently she has a cut on her leg, and you can tell that she was recently robbed. I wonder who that connects to. And she's like just sitting there kind of like trying to tend to her cut, and she notices you walking forward, and she like beckons over to you, and she's like you can you come over here for a second?
Osei points at himself.
Yeah, you're the only person here. Yes.
Osei looks both ways, making sure he's safe. He takes a few steps forward.
Okay. You meet up with her, and she kind of like asks. She like is like kind of frantic. She looks at you. She's like, do you have any like anything that could potentially like any like bandages or anything? My legs kind of like cut pretty badly, and I've got to get back to work.
Osei sits there and ponders.
Okay, I love this character already. All right. And she like kind of she like looks up and she's like shrugs. She's like, whatever, man. I like look, my store just got broken into. I got cut by like one of them cut me when they were leaving because I was being a little too aggressive, I guess, and whatever. If you don't have anything, that's fine. I just, I was just hopeful.
Osei hesitates as she continues to talk. Afraid, stumbles over his words at first, then speaks. Oh no, ma'am, let me see what I got. Osei then opens his satchel. Is it a satchel?
It's like a satchel, yeah. It's like a satchel.
Okay. Looks through and notices his book of empty words,
Okay.
looking dual. Then he sighs. Distracted for a little bit.
Are you okay or hello? What? Hello?
He snaps back into reality. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry, ma'am. I don't have anything.
God damn it. You know what? Well, at least you tried. You know, I'll call somebody up, whatever. It's okay.
Osei interjects. Wait, can I inquire more about the details of this person?
Of the guy who robbed me?
Yes.
So it was two guys that came in with hoods. One of them had a knife, the other one was wielding some kind of, like, I guess it must have been like a spell book of some sort, even though it didn't really look like one. And they just threatened me, and typical robbery stuff happens around here all the time. I can tell you're not from around here. Yeah, it happens around here all the time. You know, I guess you came here for the tryouts happening today, at that giant coliseum over there. If you are, you know, good luck, but you'll learn that this city is not as nice as they try to say that it is.
As she was talking, Osei pulled out his book of empty words,
Oh.
writing down all of the information she was providing.
Oh my god. He's writing a poem based off the fucking robbery.
Then he
All right.
stopped and realized she stopped talking.
Josh, all right, since you specified that, go ahead and write us a haiku based off of your description of the events of the robbery. Go ahead, write a haiku.
Can I write in the chat?
Yeah.
Oh, like right in
in the chat box,
okay.
right there, yeah. For y'all that don't know, his character's whole thing is that he's a poet. He's a wandering poet that uses his pen instead of words, and he turns his experiences into spells in his book through poetry. So I love it. I do like that you talk in poetry too. That's good. That's fun. I like that. I also can't stop laughing in the picture. That picture's so funny.
Yeah.
It also doesn't fit the character at all.
Yeah, we're like seriously role playing. You just see this nigga in the do-rag. Osei pontificates.
Okay, alright. Okay. Oh, wow. I really gave this motherfucker the Ghost of Tsushima gimmick. Also, I'll be tracking, like, anytime you write a poem for something, I'll be tracking that for, like, spells for you to use later and stuff. It's something, I guess I should have told you that ahead of time, but I figured you were gonna do the whole poem thing anyways.
Okay, yeah. Let me try not to overdo this. Let me...
Yeah, you don't gotta do anything crazy. Just write me a little 575. Write me a little haiku. Write me a little, or just write a bar. It could also just be a bar. I'll accept bars. If you can
Lay one out.
if you can flip a bar off of anything, then I'll accept that.
That's some barsmith ass type shit.
Also, yes, the guys who robbed her are the guys that Cam met.
Mm.
My bad.
he said there was.
I didn't want to die. I was nervous I would die.
I mean, it's in character. That's fine.
I don't know how league works. Or
How league works?
How the league works.
You don't know how the league works. Gotcha. Yeah, no, that's fine. It's okay. It's all right. That's fine. You do not have to be worried of death
You're
that
locked
much.
in.
Very rarely will something result in actual full death.
Yeah. I was overthinking it.
But I mean, in character, it makes sense. Your character is like this fucking rando kid that's in a place he's never been before. So he sees somebody getting robbed. He's not inclined to be like, yeah, I'm gonna go stop that or do something about those guys. Cam said he's gonna turn this city into the burbs.
Nope.
Well, why not?
Nope.
What's wrong?
This city? Nope. Coliseum in the burbs? Nope.
Hey, in Rome, the Colosseum
Dude's
was in
wearing
the burbs.
chains. Dude from the chained lands, and I can feel his energy. Nah, we're not building.
There's
the burbs
literally
here.
cops outside right now.
We're not building the burbs here.
Live ATL footage. I realize now that my mic's kind of loud on the recording. Whatever. It's whatever. I don't care. It's not that steep.
Whatever.
It'll be fine.
We got fucking
We
we got
have
15 eps to figure it out.
Yeah, it's whatever. It's okay. You guys' mic is perfectly fine. It's just mine's a little loud. But
Roman numeral 70, drop it like it's hot. I
true.
was really thinking about this poem.
He is really thinking about this poem. I didn't think that he would be so inclined to try to go hard on this poem.
I'm being a fucking nerd.
Okay, no, it's fine. Thank you, poet Osei. He doesn't describe the events of the terrible crime that has just happened. He talks about how he is socially anxious and this woman being hurt scares him. Thank you, Osei. So noticing that you're kind of a freak, but you did attempt to help, you see a smaller girl walk forward, and she kind of looks at you, and she like raises her eyebrow, and she's like, what's your problem? Why surely you have like a whole satchel, like a traveling, you just got here from out of town, you have a travel kit with you, you don't have a bandage for her?
Osei feels the presence of her warm soul.
Oh my god, here it goes. Okay, this is such a good gimmick.
Osei feels the presence of her warm soul.
Oh god.
Instantly fills his stomach with joy.
Here he goes. He just talks like a poet. Okay. All right. So she like kind of just keeps looking at you. She's like, "Look, you look kind of strong. And obviously you're not. You did try to help her, I guess. So I'm just gonna fuck the introductions. I don't think it matters. You look kind of strong. You should head to that Coliseum that way. Over there. You see that giant Coliseum past the way? You should go over there. I think they could use your talents over there."
He smiles, then getting out of his daze, He looked at the girl and he realized what she said. What-
And she like kind of like sees that he's still staring at her, and she just like takes him by the arm and starts like dragging him with her as if it was a gag in an anime. And now the gang is all here. Everybody at the
Huge.
Coliseum. Going through tryouts. You see the first test, which we aren't doing actual combat, so this will be all for spectacle, this part. Now that we're at the Coliseum, hold on. I think, how do I, wait, this, I think. Let me, so do y'all see the Coliseum right now?
Oh
Yeah.
shit!
Yeah.
This is the Coliseum. So, your tokens aren't here, but y'all can put them in there. Whatever, it doesn't really matter. We're not doing actual combat right now, so it's not that steep. So, in the Coliseum, you see multiple tryouts happening. You see, obviously, Nightmares being basically, essentially flown in. Not really flown in, but they're definitely like bringing them in with tools that they have set up to like bring them through the tunnels and whatnot without interacting with people. Obviously, for display purposes. And everybody is put into groups of 4 because the way that tryouts and the draft for the shit works is they do it in groups of 4 because you end up picking up 4 players, which is because they have multiple teams of 4. The only teams that matter are their first 3, but they have dozens because at the end of the day, their society is built on this being a sport, so people are expendable to them. And so you guys are being called up like group by group. And until it gets to you guys group, y'all have witnessed a few people be brought in to like test how they fight nightmares to impress the judges. You saw one guy ask to fight a captain and get his ass beat. It's been a pretty eventful day. Kind of nerve-wracking if you're easy to get scared, but otherwise it's good entertainment. So then they get to you guys group and they start calling your names up one by one to see what you got against nightmares, and then also you're going to do a little test for each of the captains just to see like how they feel about you. So the first one they're going to call up is I will roll, what is this, r/d4, right? Would be how I roll a d4. Is that correct? Or is that slash whatever?
/r space
Slash
D4.
r. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay. All right, and it will be Cam gets called up first. So they call up a Lake Durant. As you're walking through the stands and looking around at the giant crowd around you, you realize as you look up past where the captains are sitting, right across from you, there is, up on the higher seats, a big man in a white cloak with a giant silver cross emblazoned upon it. He's kind of looking down. He's got his arms crossed. You can see his long hair kind of flowing past the hood that he has up, and he's looking dead at you. You can tell as you look up that is your father.
Ugh.
He's watching intently because you thought you were able to get out of there without him noticing, but no, he definitely noticed and definitely tailed your ass here. So you step down, and the commissioner sitting at his seat next to the rest of the generals, or the rest of the captains rather, they're all here. He looks down at you and he goes, "All right, you, Mr. Lake Durant. Yo, hold on." He like turns around and he goes, he's like looking at the captains, they're all discussing something. And then he turns back to you guys. Are you the son of Augustine Durant?
No.
You see the guy in the hood up there get visibly angry. And he turns and looks at like a few of the other people. You see Vin kind of let out like a smile. Because he can tell from the area that he found you in, and the fact that you share the same name, like it's pretty apparent that you're the same guy. And he, like, the commissioner kind of looks around for a second, and he's like, okay, well, whatever. Looks down, he goes, regardless, despite your uncommon name, you are here to do one thing. Prove that you are fit. Now, we're going to bring in... Well, actually, what kind of nightmare would you prefer? Would you prefer something small, maybe multiple small enemies? Would you prefer maybe one large? Or would you want to be one of the idiots that tries to test a captain? How will you impress us today?
What's a captain?
All the captains kind of are stunned. they're like, did he seriously just ask that question? And then you see like a few of them like start laughing. You see Vin start losing his mind. The commissioner like kind of lets out a slight smile and then starts shaking his head. He's like, "There's just no way. There's just absolutely no way this kid." The arena loves it. They think you're being cocky. They think they love that shit. They're eating it up. You're a fan favorite right now for it. And so he immediately interprets this as actually not even him. He immediately interprets this as you trying to challenge a captain. And Vin goes, "Hey, I'll go down there. I got it." You see Vin jump from the top of the stand. It's pretty fucking high up. You see Vin jump from the top of it, jump down. He lands in front of you. And he goes, "So, I'm assuming that, I'm assuming that was a genuine question, and that wasn't you putting on an act right now?"
No, I'm seriously asking.
Okay, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. So notice how I said the team thing earlier? The captains are the leader of each team. There's 13 captains, there's 13 teams. I lead a team. But now they think you want to fight a captain. So that's why I came down here. So, here's what we're gonna do. Challenge me to anything that you think we could be even in. It doesn't have to be necessarily anything crazy. As long as you can outfeat a captain, they'll think that you're something special. So if you want to, rack our brains on like an idea here, because we could try to fight, but I'll be honest, that might not, not to doubt you, but that might not look too impressive. I don't know. What do you like? An arm wrestle? I mean, a race. Like, what do you? I don't know.
What do I get if I beat you?
Favor with pretty much everybody here. It would basically solidify your ability to choose any team you want. Actually, probably. It also would net you. I guess, at least right now, miniature stardom, there's a lot of people here watching. They'd think it's impressive. The fans would sure as hell love it.
All right.
We could also,
We can't just do what you guys normally do?
I mean, some people do choose to fight captains. I just don't want you to look bad in front of everybody. I brought you here because I saw potential in you. But what we normally do is send in a nightmare. send in a monster and have you put on some kind of massive display to impress people.
All right. I mean, I can do that easy.
You can do that easy. Okay. All right. How about this? We bring in a monster. Ooh, perfect plan. Perfect plan. Bring in a
What if
monster.
what if only one of us can kill it? Just the first person to kill it wins.
Yeah, whoever.
We're fighting over
Yeah.
the same monster.
I like where your head's at. I like your. Matter of fact. All right, Lake. How about this? You want to place a bet on it?
More than anything. More than anything, I want to place a bet on it.
Lake, how much do you have on you right now?
100 chips.
100 chips. How much do you want to put on this?
200 chips.
Would you like to go? Okay, you could potentially go in debt.
No. Let's just do the 100,
To the 100. Okay.
and then I'll prove you wrong next time too.
Oh. Yeah, I chose the right one. He kind of like he jumps back up on top of the stands, which you immediately realize is a crazy distance to be able to leap. From the center of the arena to the top of like a 13-foot stand that has all their chairs on it, on the side. And he tells everybody their plans, and then he whispers to the commissioner. He tells them, and everybody else, like looks in shock. Like everybody's astounded, and you just see the commissioner kind of like take off his glasses, and he like wipes his eyes for a second, like he doesn't know what to do. And then you see him turn the mic back on, and he goes, "The newcomer has challenged the Bandit King to a gamble." And everybody in the arena like loses their mind. This is the part where you find out he's a notorious con man and gambler. He's known as the Bandit King. And so everybody's like cheering. There's a lot of like people. There's like a lot of people in the stands that are now like you've just made a lot of fans with this, but it's crazy. So you see a big, like, multi-headed serpent start rising up from a compartment under the arena in front of you, and he jumps back down. And now he looks at you and he goes, "All right, well, here's our target. So, you can take your first crack at it." And you look as it rises out of the ground. You see something that takes up maybe half of the arena's size. It's a giant, multi-headed, like 5-headed serpent. It's kind of looks Chinese dragon-esque, and it's a terrifying beast. It's like this full, like, black and gold dragon serpent that's like sitting there in front of you, and you don't even know its weak spots. This is just like it's right there. Now, this is not going to be a real fight. We aren't doing like an actual combat this session, so this is all going to be for spectacle. This is going to be for the beginning, the intro. So,
Okay.
he allows you to make the first move. What do you do to this giant dragon that's basically sitting in front of both of you?
I'm gonna take a picture
Okay.
of Vin and the beast.
Okay. You take a picture of Vin and the Beast. So with this picture, you currently have the ability to you can capture the like you could either like capture the image as like the what's it called, like capture the
Storage?
essence of the moment and store it so that you
Oh.
can use the element thing, or you can use it to like you can detect the weaknesses, so on and so forth. So what are we thinking we're doing with this picture? What did we take this picture for?
I'm gonna capture the essence with this
Okay.
one.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Um he's still allowing you to make the first move. The monster is very slow, slower than both of you. So you're allowed to like combat starts when you make your actual attack here.
Okay, gotcha.
So
I'm
Ye-
gonna
mhm.
I'm gonna sprint up and try and kind of wrap around the snake,
Okay.
and if I can like shit, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like swing my camera in and try and kind of hit him in the back of his head.
Okay. Um roll agi for me.
Got you.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to get around it and you hit it in the back with your camera. You I'll actually double a roll here since you did specify you went around behind him. Can you roll dex as well? Dex is like perception stuff, by the way.
Okay, got you.
Because you're like a monster hunting guy, you would recognize, yeah. You notice when you get behind him that his wings look extraordinarily frail. And that attacking his wings it probably won't kill him because they're just wings, but it's like something that'll do a lot of damage to him.
Got you. I'm gonna try and kind of aim at that and whip my camera like in between his wings.
Okay. You do that and it gets like it hurts and you can see it like kind of start thrashing. It's like kind of like trying to coil around itself to turn around to you to attack you. As it does
Gotcha.
this, you see Vin like in an instant kind of come from behind and just with one arm cut one of its wings off.
Got you.
He cuts its wing off and it starts like writhing in pain. It stops looking at you and now it turns to him and it's like staring him like straight in the eye. You also noticed earlier when you did your initial hit that his scales are kind of like dense, so you're gonna have to find a way around that.
Got you.
But which is something I forgot to mention. But his scales are extremely dense, and they work kind of as like a small plating, so it doesn't make him like impervious to damage or anything. But it's definitely like tougher than the average beast that you fight. He cuts this arm off or this wing off, and appears back on the ground. You look down and realize that the version of him that the dragon was focused on disappears, and he was actually standing like behind you the whole time. In fact, he just used an after image to cut the wing off. This after image is something that I guess that Quay's character would notice as like a philosophy thing. It's like a philosophy illusion thing. So yeah, he did just low diff this serpent with an after image.
Okay.
The serpent now is confused after staring at the after image that just disappeared, and he's now like tracking his next target. I will roll to see who he will target. He targets you. He turns around because you were the first person he saw. He turns around and he sees you, and he attempts to lunge at you with one of his heads. One of his heads tries to like bite you while you're still behind him, like basically on top of him. What do you do in response?
I'm gonna throw the picture that I took into the snake's mouth.
That's a good play. So which aspect of the image would you like to use? There were two things in the image.
Yeah, I'm using Vin, bro.
Yeah, okay. So after throwing the image, you use the aspect of Vin, which for like since we're making it lore accurate, since this isn't an actual fight, it's not gonna be an elemental thing, obviously. You replicate what Vin just did, basically, where it's like Monster Hunter's slashing bullets. You throw it into the serpent's mouth, and as everybody sees you get devoured by its mouth, its head separates around you, and everybody watches in awe as you just cut off one of the serpent's heads, as well as Vin being thoroughly impressed, like, I didn't think he could do that. Like, everybody is in shock at what you just did. You and I guess you did, that was a response to the dragon. I was gonna, based on what you said, I was gonna have you like roll for it and everything, but you just chose a good option, so I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll just let him have that. And so now it's technically your turn again, because that was in response on the serpent's turn. So
Oh shit.
and now it's like dazed because it just lost a head. So you got whatever you want to do.
All right. Shit, dude. I'm gonna try and I guess fucking run up and just hit it while it's already dazed. Just try and do as much damage as I can to this thing before Vin kills it.
So are you trying to like hit one of its heads? Where are you trying to hit?
I'm gonna try and let me try and go for its wing again, like I was originally.
the other wing.
Yeah.
So while it's dazed, you wrap the chain that you have. You wrap the chain that you have around the like base of the wing, and I want you to this is unfortunate, but I do want you to roll strength.
Gotcha.
Do the gods favor you? They do not. You attempt to like clean pull this wing off by like coiling the chain around it. And as you do, the chain kind of like gets caught under one of the scales. And so it definitely like cuts into the wing, but it doesn't do crazy long-lasting damage. While this happens, Vin walks to one of the heads and he places his arm up to it, and you hear him like chant something. You can't quite make it out, but you see a glowing light appear in his hand, and you see the head that he has his hand connected to get like burst into flames.
Oh shit.
And now the serpent is like writhing in pain. It has 3 heads left. It's like thrashing everywhere. Now it's starting to like knock you off. So
Okay, gotcha.
you're getting like thrown off. You're no longer on the back of this giant serpent. And it will choose a target now that it's not dazed anymore. It will choose a target. It chooses Vin. And its other head like slams down like against Vin, kind of knocks him back a little bit. And as it does, he like gets hit back. He jumps in the air and casts the same like ability that he just did on the same head, and you see it explode this time.
Okay, gotcha.
So that head's completely gone. There are now 3 heads left that are intact, and the dragon is like kind of stumbling back and forth. You can't tell how much more of it can take. Like, obviously, originally it was thought this might be like a Hydra situation. The heads obviously do not come back, and this shit is very much dying very fast. So now it is your turn again, because the dragon is reeling again. The dragon gets dazed every time one of the heads goes away.
Okay, gotcha. I'm gonna try and take another picture, just of the Hydra this time.
Okay, go for it. You press or roll dex. Roll dex.
Gotcha.
Because we'll see if you were able to get the shot as you're getting thrown off. It's not too hard because he's dazed. Yeah, the check is like 30. So you catch a shot of one of the heads of the Hydra as you're getting thrown off its back, and you kind of land kind of to the side of where its heads are, but it's like you're able to see its heads from here. So you could do whatever you want to any of them. You caught the picture, so now it's a matter of how do you want to use the picture.
I think at this point, I'm gonna try and stall a little bit.
Okay.
Can I just try and take another photo?
You can do that. You can store up to 3.
Okay. I'm gonna try and get another picture of. I'm gonna try and get 2 more pictures of the Hydra.
Okay. You roll dex for both of those. I'll make these checks slightly harder because you're trying to get them back to back, but it's still not going to be too difficult. Yeah, that passes. That one does not pass. You get one more picture. The other one is very blurry because the monster is moving around and writhing in pain.
Got you.
Now it is Vin's turn. Vin sees you taking pictures and sees this as his opportunity. So he is going to try something that is a crazy roll. Surely I won't get crazy rolls for the 3rd time. I will half this stat on him so that it's not turbo insane for right now. Actually, I'll probably turn it down by more. I'll just give him a flat +10. He's gonna try to do an insane roll right now that if he gets it, he will immediately take 2 heads with him. He does not. That was another crazy roll, but he does not get it because the roll was a 95. So he sends out another after image and just chops one of the heads off at the base. And then he lets you take your turn because it's dazed again. I lost another head. There's 2 more heads left.
I'm gonna try and take a picture of Vin.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, you can try to take a picture of him as he's cutting this guy's head off. Go ahead and roll dex again. Go ahead. Yeah. I literally was in my head. I was like, yeah, I'm making it a 90, and then you rolled a 91, so I guess I just kill myself. Yeah, you get a picture of Vin as he's cutting off the head of the Hydra.
All right.
What do you want to do?
I'm gonna throw all 3 of my pictures remaining at the 2 heads of the Hydra. So I've got 2 Hydra heads and Vin.
You see a giant coalescing ball of white light appear around the heads, and damn, I can't believe you actually got that check. You see a coalescing ball of white light appear around the heads, and as it does, you see them explode into mini ice crystals all over, encasing the heads of the serpent. You now realize it has ice powers, and as this happens, you see them explode, and as they explode, you see both of the heads get cut clean off. When this happens, obviously the serpent dies, and it's now snowing across the entire arena, across the entire Coliseum. Everybody is in awe as they just witnessed you outclass a captain. Cam, give yourself 100 union coins on the spot. Not union coins, that's what we use for bleach. Chips. Give yourself 100 chips on the spot.
Got you.
Because he lost the bet. He is stunned and sits down right in front of you and starts clapping. Well, kid, you actually did it. I can't believe it. I've never lost a gamble before. Not once in my life. He looks up at the commissioner, and the commissioner looks down at you, and he goes, Lake Durant will require no further testing. You may return to your seat. And all of the captains are like very obviously in shock. I was literally gonna let him. That's crazy. Yeah, you passed. You don't even need to do any extra anything. Like they automatically are like you return to your seat. You're good. Like you're guaranteed a spot somewhere. Wow. Okay. Wow. We're gonna see who goes next. Crosswise. So, the commissioner is at the mic, still kind of in awe from what just happened. He goes, I wonder if there's any more freaks in this group. So I was told that Eden has another one. Is there a Crosswise here?
There is, man. Here, present.
It's kind of hard to see from up here. You're in an arena filled with
I
thousands
stand
of...
up, wave my hands.
That's okay. All right. Okay. Could you please make your way to the center of the arena?
I start jumping over people.
You got him, Crosswise. You got him.
I'll make sure to make it quick, Eden.
You land in the bottom of the arena in front of everybody, and the commissioner looks down at you, now awestruck in a different way because he cannot fathom your stupidity. He goes, and how will you impress us today?
Whatever you guys want. Send in some beasts, some humans, whatever you don't want, I'll take them out.
Okay. Well, we did just use our biggest monster of the day. There's a... Oh, what is it? And then, like, immediately as he's talking, somebody, like, kind of comes over to him, and they whisper to him. They're like, he goes, he did what? He's from where? Really? He turns back and, like, looks down at you. He, like, squints. Crosswise, are you from the Chained Lands by chance?
Yeah, I was sleeping there about 3 weeks ago.
What? And then like you see like people start talking in the stands. People are like kind of freaking out about it because that immediately is like a bad thing. And he's just like, are you like the mercenary Crosswise?
Yeah.
Crosswise the Broken Knight. Okay. Well, here's what we can do for you. We are going to bring in a pack of just nightmare hounds. I don't know if you wish to do what your compatriot did and go against a captain, but I don't know. We kind of know about you already. 5 hounds is seems like nothing. We really did just use our biggest beast of the day, but I think if you know how fast.
I don't need to worry. All the captains make them get off their seats to kill some hounds. Guys kill things much greater.
For sure. We will test to see how fast you can kill these hounds.
Sounds good. Where are they gonna come out? I point to the various exits.
And as you are saying that, you see a compartment open beneath, like the exact same thing that just happened with the serpent that came out of the ground. And you see, like, it kind of gets stuck a little bit because it's under the body of the giant serpent still that they haven't cleaned up yet. Because they only do cleaning in between each group's things. And you see it like get stuck a little bit, and then it finally comes up, and then you see the 5 beasts right there in front of you. So I want you to try to finish this in as few moves as possible. They're pretty weak. You're pretty strong. This should be nothing to the legendary mercenary Crosswise.
I run to be surrounded by them.
He gets
I
directly
let
in
them
the middle.
all bite on me. And then I grab each of their necks and I snap it with high amounts of force.
You know what? Just for the hell of it, this check is gonna be nothing because of how your character works. But would you mind just roll me strength, or actually roll me endurance? Go for it. Roll me endurance. You got to take the bites. We'll see how well you tank it. I mean, it's 19 is dude. What is up with the rolls today? Okay, so it does hurt you a little bit. So you kind of like, they all jump on you, and you realize like the force that they have is like they must be off of. They might have fed them something a little bit before the game, some kind of like strength enhancement. And it kind of like you kill like 2 of them in one go. They both get on like each of your arms, and they're close enough to your hands for you to just like wring their shit. But
Yeah.
the other 3 are like all across you, and you like throw them off, kind of like, they bite at your legs. It leaves a little bit of bite marks. It hurts a little bit, and it's like just not really hurts, but like it kind of is like shocking. So you like throw them off. You're like, ugh.
Yeah.
But 2 of them are already dead. It has been 10 seconds. So now the hounds will make their move. They will all just they're hounds. They're not gonna think that hard about it. They're all gonna try to jump on you again because you just let it happen the first time.
Yeah.
So honestly, it'd be really funny. Roll endurance again.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Oh my god. Well, it's still above 15, so I'll just allow them to all die here, because the check was 15 for the first one. I made it 15 for the second one. So they all jump on you. It's still shocking like how strong they are. This definitely leaves you.
I'll let them like push me over on the ground.
Yeah.
I'll start laughing.
Yeah, you play it off. But at the end of the day, they all jump on you, and then you blow them all up.
I just
very
hug them
easily.
until they stop moving.
Yes, they very easily all die. Your character is strong. He's a notorious mercenary. That was 20 seconds. And they are all very impressed by the fact that you managed to kill 5 hounds in under 30 seconds. Albeit a few of them kind of look down and they're like, did he really? He couldn't do it in like 10? Like, that didn't look very painful to me. Like, you see them all like kind of discussing among themselves, but most of them seem pretty impressed for the most part. And the commissioner looks down and he goes, solid on sub 30-second hound slaying. Love to see it. The record here is pretty not too dissimilar from you. It was around 22 seconds. You had about 23. Great. Good job. You may return to your seat.
For sure. Thanks for watching and stuff. And I grab all of the hounds and throw them into a pile, and I'm like, yeah, just to make the janitor's life easier. I walk up.
They're all discussing. You hear them like over the mic. He kind of hot mics all the way. He's like, he's very nice. Yeah, you did it. You got him. Yeah, you showed them. Yeah.
Yeah, I knew I'd make you proud, Eden. Do you got bandages? I don't think it's a problem, but like, I don't want to get blood everywhere.
Osei here's somebody mention bandages again and starts getting like angry. He's like, again? And now I will roll to see who goes next. Osei. So the commissioner calls down an Osei, who is obviously unknown. Nobody knows who this guy is. He's not like the other two people that had just came in, where like they all had at least the inclination of something. They call you in. Osei, I take it you are known around the world as sort of a artist, traveling poet. You do poetry. You do shows.
Greetings. Yes, I do.
Okay. Interesting. Then like one of the captains kind of pulls him over and is like yeah, he's the guy I was at his show like, you know, a month ago or whatever. And then the commissioner's like, "Oh, okay." But all right. And he like turns, he goes, "How will you impress us today, Osei?"
Well, I do specialize in a form of art that you may have seen before.
Mm-hmm. Are you are you going to use this as a stand for poetry? Is that what's gonna happen?
Well, if you insist. He pulls out his satchel.
Oh. And you know what? I won't make you like recite, you know, poems or bars or nothing here. We'll just say your character spent like 2 hours putting on a poetry show, basically. Because that's funny. But I do want you to roll an int check. This will decide how good people think the show was. So roll int. Your int is 5. Roll intelligence for me.
Intelligence. Okay.
Oh my god, how are y'all doing this?
So, is that good or?
That's terrible.
That's terrible. Okay. Oh Lord. Let me get back
Today's
to the
just not our
points.
day, you know. They caught us slipping today. You know?
Yeah.
So people are asleep in the stands. Some of the captains like it, some people like it, but it's like it's not even like, especially even for you, it's not like a great performance. Obviously, not only was it not the entertainment people were here to see, but it was just not your best. You know, you didn't come with your best material. Wasn't great work. Crosswise is asleep. Lemisk might be asleep. You know, it's rough. It's looking rough. The commissioner who was intrigued, actually, the commissioner who did enjoy your show, says, "Wow, superb. You know, honestly, you know, people might not see your brilliance, but me, I get it. It resonated with me. I liked it. That'll be all, Osei. You may return
Thank
to
you.
your seat."
With pleasure.
One
He grabs his satchel and puts everything back into his bag.
one of the captains, a redheaded knight guy, like falls backwards in his chair off the stand onto the ground, and like it wakes him up. He's like, oh fuck, it was so boring. And then the commissioner calls one last name. I know about you. I saved you for last for a reason. Everybody, I know you will hear this name and think bad things, but Lemisk, Kyojin. Would you mind heading down? Former god of the streets.
I grab my holy book and I walk down to the arena. I look at the crowd.
They're all booing.
I look to the sky. And I give one good sigh. I am prepared.
So, Lemisk, I know the people here have certain thoughts of you, but I was present for the deal that was made. And I will ask of you the same I ask of everybody else. How will you impress us? Not just me, more importantly, the crowd here today. How will you prove yourself?
I will perform a miracle.
A miracle.
Yes.
And how do you intend to do that?
I will roll.
Roll. Tell me what you're trying to do beforehand.
I'm gonna roll
Mm-hmm.
below 50. I lose the crowd. I roll 50. I win the crowd.
I'll make it 60.
Wait, okay.
I'll make it 60. Odds aren't in your favor,
All right.
but you can roll 53. That is tough. I did low-key hoe you. That's unfortunate. I'll say you win. But because it is above 50, I'll say you win a little bit of people's favor. Like, people understand, like, oh, this isn't like he doesn't immediately have like the worst aura of all time. And you're allowed to attempt to perform this miracle. Whatever that miracle may be. The miracle will be a pretty hard whiz check, though.
Yeah.
So what is the miracle that you intend on trying to do? What is the miracle that you're trying to present to the people here today?
I am going to convince the people that Osei's 2-hour poem was actually a masterpiece.
Whoa! All right. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Attempt to use your philosophy to alter the minds of everybody in the arena right now. Whiz check.
Yes.
I will not tell you what the check is. I will only tell you if it is passed or not.
Okay. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Guys.
Somebody's gotta roll good. Somebody has to roll good today.
Wait, come on. Come
Whiz.
on.
You know what? I willingly failed the check. So, Quay, I broke it down into 3 checks in my mind. You passed 2 of them. It was 80 convinces everybody here. 65 convinces most of the people, over half. And 30 convinces, like, an amount, right? Anything below that would have been nothing. You do impress a decent amount of the captains with this, as they, especially the philosophers, as they witness basically an entire, like, mind change of, like, a good majority of the audience, and even some of the captains within themselves realizing that they may have enjoyed the words that Osei spoke more than they thought. Finally understanding the true meaning of some of the more subversive and crazy sounding poems he had. And the commissioner, kind of in shock, as somebody who had already enjoyed the show, kind of looks down at you and goes, "Yes, that is a bit miraculous. I can't deny it. I think that might have impressed more people here than I really thought it would have, to be honest. So, yes, great job, Lemisk.
Yes. As my Lord teach me, you shall look at the beauty of the darkness.
Okay, all right. Osei like that.
So I go up to Osei. As I look at, I put my hand on his shoulder, and I say, "Listen here, young blood. You got a gift, and you need to hold in that gift, okay?" Pat him on the shoulder. And I take my seat.
You've won over the favor of a decent amount of the captains.
Oh, thank you. He
Um,
embraces him.
wow. So I guess for the end of the test, now I want everybody to roll me a raw D100. That's it.
What the hell?
Well, why are these roll? Is there something?
Is there
there's gotta be
something? No,
This
because
is-
y'all got like actual rolls that time. That was okay. Well, this roll really didn't matter for Lake because Lake already impressed all the captains. I would say basically one. Okay, so this is real interesting. You guys now just have a choice here basically that I'll it'll impact the story. So based off of your performance, you all got offers from almost every single team. Surprisingly, I don't know how y'all managed to do it with how bad your rolls were. The cam carry was kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie to you. That and Nighlin did a little bit. And the miracle at the end. Actually, you all pulled your weight. Choosing to do a poem was crazy. So you guys have choices here. I'm gonna give you all of the teams that you guys have the potential to join, and you guys are like as a group going to decide which ones y'all find them like the most interesting and which one you would want to join. So I'm just gonna tell you. So there are out of ones that offered you guys have let me like rule out which ones you can and can't do real quick. So can't do this one, you can't do this one, and you can't do you can do most of them. Okay, so you guys have basically 10 options right now, which is kind of crazy out of the 13 teams. So you guys could choose to join the White Lotuses. They are the home team of the White Lotus Society. And you guys would be based here and interacting with the people here. Their captain is a man by the name of Ray Bixby. He's also known as Mr. High Roll. He's an alchemist that's just like this. He's just a flashy guy. You guys could join the Golden Diamonds. They are the team representing the Golden Age Society to the east. And they are... I'll explain the societies. It's pretty simple. White Lotus Society is science. Golden Age Society is art. And then the Theosophical Society is religion. So they all fall under different things. You guys could join the Golden Diamonds. Their captain is Eliana Grace. She's a perfectionist who kind of takes it out on herself. She's not like an asshole to people directly. And she's an astrologist. There's the Silent Stars, which is the Theosophical Society. Their leader is the cool guy that fell asleep during the poem that fell on the ground and it woke him up. His name is Cole. He's the shit talking one. He uses an art called Tantra, which he's basically just like a chakra guy. And he also is one of the only people, and this is all like stuff that you guys would get knowledge of because you guys would be meeting all the captains and stuff, right? So he knows Key. And he resides in the Theosophical Society. You guys could join the Gray Foxes, which basically was originally Forsyth's Legion. They're the guys that Lemisk was supposed to join until Forsyth died. And it's basically just like it was originally founded on being a crime family. Now they're known as like a bandit alliance, basically. Their leader is Vin, aka the Bandit King. Y'all already know about him. You guys could join. Let's see. Y'all got an offer from one that I'm pretty sure you guys won't choose. Literally only one of you would be interested in this. The Spellbound Orchids. They are, nobody knows who their owner is. But whoever it is pays a lot of money to keep them in there because people do not like them because they fight in the name of like allowing witches access to the societies. And their leader is this alchemist knight that is like super justice guy, but he's not like evil with it. He's not like corrupt justice. He's just like a little reckless, I guess. You guys got an offer from Graham's disciples. They just like hunting monsters. Simple as. They're pure monster hunters through and through. They are led by Mary Goro, who you now know is the girl that met Osei and led him to the Colosseum. She is known as the Island Mover and is an insane, like, skilled swordswoman. There's the Royal Order. They are from the Chained Lands. They are the original Chained Lands team. They basically work for whoever the like highest royal power in the Chained Lands is. Their leader is the guy that met Eden and Crosswise at the gate. His name is Duke Martine. Yeah. And then there's 3 more teams. No, there's 2 more teams for y'all. Y'all could also join the Ocean Dragons. They are a newer team owned by the royalty of a small island nation that exists to the south, called Eleni. And they're just led by this. Hold on, let me actually look at that to make sure I'm. Yeah, they're led by this martial artist lady that openly uses spells. But people are not sure if she uses spells because she is a witch or not. And it doesn't really matter because at the end of the day, she does not use physical spells. Like, she doesn't use spells for physical combat. And then y'all also have Lily's Reapers, which is they just experiment on monsters. They're owned by the strongest necromancer. And they care about money. That's it. So you guys can choose. You want to be like working for a society, you want to be working for a person, you know. What are y'all feeling?
I'm thinking
Negative 10 out of 10 Royal Order curse.
I think I like orchids.
You like the orchids? Really, the spellbound orchids?
Spellbound orchids, yeah.
Interesting. I guess that does fit, yeah. What about Cam and Josh? Which one of y'all? What would be the most interesting to y'all? They all pertain to like a thing that Nighlin actually listed pretty well.
Did you guys write this down?
He wrote in the chat. He wrote like what each one falls under. I mean, I can break those down more simple, and I will be sending you guys the like written versions of this later. I should be
Okay.
sending it as I'm going, but I figured I'd just say it all. You guys would hear something that interests you. But yeah, the first team is like kind of they represent the White Lotus Society. They're gambly. The other one is like they represent art and trying to change the world with it. The other one is like they basically are like how White Lotus Society is pseudosciences, the Theosophical Society is like pseudo religion. There's the Spellbound Orchids, which are like, you know, they're the peacemaking ones. There's the Monster Hunters, like pure Monster Hunters, which is Mary's group. There's the Ocean Dragons. They reside to the south. They're an island nation. They're just like a free people. That's their whole thing. They just value freedom. And there's Lily's Reapers. They are also like basically pure Monster Hunters. They just collect monsters to experiment on them and try making a fuck ton of money because that's all Lily cares about is money. So, yeah. What do y'all care about more? Do y'all care about the monster hunting aspect? Do y'all want to deal with political stuff? Do y'all want to deal with this is basically what this determines. Is like, do y'all care more about fighting? Do y'all care more about what do we want to do?
Yeah, like in character, Crosswise doesn't he doesn't care that much for this place because it's like to him it's like big city. He thinks art's cool.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have any particular opinion on the theological stuff. He thinks it's fine. Silent, there's some threats of violence there, which made him say it slightly better. Spellbound sounded like there wasn't enough violence. Mary and Lily's both like violence. The curse makes
Yeah.
him hate the royal order.
So I would like
and
to tell
he
you
can't
that
swim.
the theological was silent stars. So the 6 out of 10, the silent was that's the gray foxes. They're just like they're basically a mob crime family, basically.
Yeah. I put them down as you were saying them, but
Yeah, that's on me. That's on me.
but yeah, all good. But yeah, the Ocean's Dragons are only 3 out of 10 because he can't swim currently.
Well, yeah, that'll do it. And the Lily's Reapers again, violence. So
Yeah, he's swayed by it because he's good at it right now, and his self-confidence sucks.
yeah, valid.
But if they're like, you got to learn a bunch of stuff, he's like, ooh, that's scary. That's why the Spellbound sounds scary to him. But
Right.
he could be convinced otherwise. It's like, hey,
Right.
would you protect me while I do this research? And he's like, I can do that.
For sure. So Cam and Josh, the question more lies in like, do y'all care more about the interaction portion, like more political stuff? Do y'all care about like, you know, combat and wanting to fight, you know, so on and so forth? What do y'all tend to lean towards?
I'm trying to figure out why Vin wanted me here.
Vin wanted you here because he saw potential in you. That's literally it.
Oh, okay.
He just saw potential in you.
Gotcha.
Like he wasn't actually trying to scam you.
Okay,
Which is
gotcha.
crazy because that's in character for him. But literally, he just saw potential in you because you were going band for band with him on like a competitive monster hunter thing for a little bit because you challenged him because you saw him in the wild.
And I'm indifferent as long as I get to fight.
You're indifferent as long as you get to fight. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're leaning more towards a monster hunting group. We're leaning more towards like a there will be a decent amount of fighting in any other group, in any of the things, but that makes sense. So
What are you leaning towards, Josh?
what are you leaning towards, Josh? Because I can like help y'all narrow based on what you say.
So this is an option for all of us.
All of y'all will end up on the
yeah.
same team, so it's something y'all have to collectively like think on.
Okay.
Yeah, it influences like kind of plot structure.
That's also true.
So
Right. Okay. Well, since the group seems like it's more leaning towards, from what I'm getting, I guess combat wise, I'm
Mhm.
down for that.
Okay.
do you want something closer to like Mary or
Yeah,
Lily?
do you
Because
want,
Lily's
like-
doing it for research and money,
do you
and
care
Mary's
about
doing it for sport.
Yeah, do you care about doing, like, would you rather just fight for the sake of fighting? Would you rather fight for, like, do you care about, like, monetary or scientific gain? Or would you rather fight as, like, part of, like a organized unit, like with the Gray Foxes?
Well, I guess going in accordance to Osei, it would be more towards being around the people
Okay.
that he's surrounded by and getting to know them more and building trust, especially with Trist and that
Yes.
backstory.
So that
Uh,
low key could fall under one of two things. That could be either Gray Foxes or Graham's disciples.
okay.
So those are both like fight heavy ones that actually fit that great. Gray Foxes are led by Vin. The
Okay.
Graham's disciples are led by Mary, who's the girl that you met outside of
Ooh.
the wall. Not the one that was cut, but the other one that kind of thought you were weird. But she was like, "Oh, you look kind of strong. Go for it."
Oh, okay.
And then
Okay.
and then that yeah. So those are like the two that I think fit your vibe the most. Those are both fighting heavy, so Cam's interested in it. Honestly, Vin is the leader of the Gray Foxes, so that would make sense for Cam to want to go to. The Gray Foxes were originally Forsyth's Legion, which is what Lemisk was originally agreed upon, and fighting is good for Crosswise. So Gray Foxes make sense, and then Graham's disciples make sense because it's like if you guys are really truly about pure monster hunting, which all of you are except for like Lemisk, it's like that also fits. So, and if
Quay, if you had to tie break between those two, which one do you pick?
Well, I probably wouldn't go for the Gray Foxes because like that's my rivals. Like, over
that's
there.
true. That's true. Well, it's no
He's-
longer directly attached to him, but I get what you're saying. Yeah,
It's
So I'll probably
different.
go with
Alright,
Mary.
cool.
you go with Mary.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
Mary.
Okay, you like Mary. Cam wants to hunt monsters. Makes sense. It fits Josh's whole thing. Okay, all right. So, you guys, after meeting with all the captains and having conversations, so on and so forth, you guys all settle on the invite that you got from Mary. And while you guys were meeting with all the captains, Vin met with Lake and kind of discussed like the idea of having Lake as a rival is more appealing to him than necessarily having him in his group, because he thinks he kind of gets stunted with like whole that kind of their kind of lifestyle. And Mary kind of pulls up to Osei and she's like, "Hey, I thought it was nice before Lemisk changed everybody's mind. So that's cool. Like she fucks with the poetry stuff. It actually fits her character. Because she values people that do things differently. That's like her whole thing. She values unique people. And so yeah, as you guys finalize, like you're the four that are being drafted by the Graham's disciples. While you guys are all basically getting like talking to her and getting to know her, from the stands you see a hooded figure walk down with a silver cross emblazoned upon his chest, and he looks at all of you, and he looks as if he wants to say words to Lake, but he kind of starts he like kind of starts to, and then just looks away, and he looks at Crosswise for a little bit, like as if he can sense something, and then he starts walking out, and as he's walking away he goes, "From this day onwards, Lake, you and I are enemies," and he walks out. He doesn't care about you no more, bro. He hates you. He hates your guts.
Hey, Lake, who's that guy? He felt funny.
Interesting.
I don't fucking know.
I don't
Oh.
fucking know.
That's good. Because I
That's
don't
good.
like him either.
This will matter. I did not expect him to disavow him as his father at the beginning. I did expect that. That shit just made him insta hate you forever, which is hilarious. So he walks out. It's funny because I had like a whole monologue from him playing and everything. That's pretty funny. So
My bad.
no, I mean that's hilarious. That's great. It's a better outcome. Less work for me, honestly. He walks out, and you guys are all met by the commissioner, and he looks all of you in the eyes as you're like, finishing your discussions with Mary, and he looks at Mary, he nods, and he goes, "Well, you've all done well to make it this far. Now you
Go
have
down to one knee.
What is he doing? Why is he doing that?" And then Eden kind of picks you up a little bit. He goes, he chained land's customary. He's doing the bowing to a lord thing. He thinks he doesn't realize that's.
Is the commissioner not the lord of this place?
I mean, he is. He's like the leader, like the overseer. But like, you don't need to. It's
Okay, I
that's
apologize,
like
Commissioner.
weirdly
It's a
formal.
great grievance on you.
Oh, that's well, not necessarily. It's whatever. And the commissioner kind of like scratches his head and he's like, "All right. Well, as new recruits, you all have one last duty. We're going to take you to the tower outside of this Coliseum. In there, we're going to go into the basement. And as new recruits, you guys will read the Book of Solomon. Book of Solomon is, well, some of you aren't from around here, so I guess, yeah, this makes sense to explain. Book of Solomon is an artifact. When you read it, it will cause it will give you more scientific understanding than you ever thought possible. But there's a hard risk. You're not prepared for it, or cannot mentally handle it. Bad things could happen. But you guys were chosen specifically because we think you can. So, we're gonna head on to the tower. And you guys are gonna read the book. Are there any objections to this?
No objection from me, sir.
None from me either.
Okay. Osei? Lemisk? No?
No.
Okay.
I will ask one question. Is Eden to be brought with me?
He's your manager now. That's really, you can decide whether you bring him along or not, but I mean, he did well to bring you here, so you might as well.
Alright. Eden, come with me. He picks up Eden.
It's been so long since the commissioner respected my abilities. It's been so long.
More people respect you going forward, Eden. I'll make sure.
Excuse me.
Huh? Yes?
May we take the book home, perhaps?
No. No. Can't do that. In fact, if you are in physical contact with the book for an extended amount of time, it'll turn you into a nightmare. You know those beasts we've been slaying? It turns you into one of those.
Osei, with how you memorized that speech earlier, I'm sure you can memorize plenty of the book.
It was beautiful.
I guess we'll see.
I loved
Thank
it.
you.
I loved it. It was great. All right. Let's head on out. And he begins taking you guys outside the Coliseum to the giant tower that resides directly next to it, which is the headquarters of their, basically the White Lotus Society. It's where everything goes into politically and non-politically. Everything involving the White Lotus Society goes to there. It takes you down a few stories into the basement. And he specifies that you guys are the last group of the day. the last group of rookies to need to take this. And he informs you that, with how much promise you guys showed, if you guys roll well here, you could potentially start, like, on the second. You guys could potentially start in one of the top 3 squads of your team, which would actually be crazy. But we'll see what happens. So, starting with Lemisk. I want you to roll. Let me look at your stats. Let me make sure this is in your favor. I want you to roll an endurance check for me on this book. You know what? I'll decide. Okay. So I gave you an endurance check because I was like, it'd be. I can't believe y'all are rolling this low consistently. It's kind of crazy. I'll give everybody this privilege because it technically makes sense. Everybody can do an endurance check and an intelligence check. Take the highest one. So you can roll intelligence also. Take the highest one. Okay. There you go. So you read the book. You look into the book. You start scrolling through pages. You feel a like influx of information into your mind. It's kind of overwhelming, and it feels like it's doing something. It's causing something. And as you like start skimming through more and more pages, you feel like a slight change in your body, and you notice that everybody else notices like a dark swirling energy emanating around Lemisk's body currently. Lemisk then blacks out. Lemisk blacks out. And I will tell you now, Lemisk, that you did luck out with the intelligence roll. You, when you wake up, will have a light curse that we'll be discussing. It'll only be light, and it'll give you a power-up once we do something about it. So your check was not bad. You're fine. It's not even really like a curse. It's like you're fucked up for a little bit. And so all of you just witnessed that horrifying display.
Oh my.
And the commissioner kind of like scratches his head. He's like, okay. All right, that didn't go crazy well. Lake.
We'll see
What's
with this
up?
one if it was just a toughness thing.
Lake, I'm going to assume, based off of what I saw today, that will not happen to you.
No.
Go ahead and look into the book. And
Alright.
you can roll intelligence and endurance and take the higher of the two. Oh fuck. Oh god.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. How are people rolling so bad today? Yo.
That's just how it is.
That's crazy. Oh my god. Well, your early game's not going to be totally fucked. You'll be fine. It's not as bad as we were talking about earlier because you passed the 25. But Lake does literally the exact same thing. Except everybody
Yeah, method up.
But as you guys see him falling, you notice that the dark energy that was swirling around him and emanating around him starts like coalescing into his chest, like it pours into his chest, and you guys visibly see that. And the commissioner kind of like has like a worried expression on his face. He's like, "We're gonna have to keep him for a little bit." You two, would you like to read the book? It's understandable
Sure,
if you
if
don't.
it makes me fall asleep for once, that sounds better than nothing.
Sure, I guess.
So, I, I'm gonna tell you guys something. Those two are asleep, so I'm fine with saying this. It's just us down here. I can tell you guys are not, scientists. It's kind of like my job to know everything about the people that come in here.
That makes sense.
And I will tell you, that book has really bad side effects on people that are not scientists. So unless you have great fortitude, it could be very bad. Potentially as bad, if not worse, than what happened to them.
How do you know who we are?
Well, I can detect the energy of people. It's kind of a gift of mine. And I can tell where their powers derive from. Because of that, I know that you, and don't worry, we have plenty of people like both of you in the organization. In fact, I'll tell you a little secret. You can't tell the other two, though.
Sure.
Your current leader? Your current captain? Mary Goro? Living weapon. Not even a scientist.
I see.
Not even.
Well, that's nice.
Not even. So, Osei, if you don't know about living weapons, don't. You should. You're a witch. You went to the Chainlands for a little bit, I assume. You know about. You went to the library.
Yes.
Yeah. You know.
I have.
Yeah. Living weapons, people that, were like spirits put into weapons, can switch between forms. It's okay. It's okay. It's alright. So, you guys can choose to read this book, but it is a choice. You do not have to.
I mean, to be honest, I've been cursed more times than I can count. So this is nothing. And the promise of a sleepy time, I've been waiting for months, so I'll take it just for that.
Eden, you found an insane one. Yeah. I didn't think he was this crazy when I found him.
Boss knows how to pick him.
Damn right. Crosswise, you may now walk up. Roll int endurance. Take the highest roll. How? Off the intelligence roll? Off of the 0.5 intelligence roll? He literally has a curse that gives him less than 1 intelligence.
Yeah.
Damn.
The check is a fucking.
Eden knows how to pick him.
The check is a 95. For living weapons, it's a 95. It's an 80 for witches. It's a 95 for living weapons. How did you get a 95.5?
Eden knows how to pick him.
Wow. Okay. So, you read the book, and Osei watches as this dark energy swirls around Crosswise. And as this energy swirls around, it begins to change colors into something more prismatic, something that's more translucent. It looks a lot less dark and evil. It's starting to like kind of give like an aura outline to Crosswise. And Crosswise can barely stand. He can barely maintain the power that's flowing within him. But he does learn, and this is something we'll work on. He does learn he'll get one scientist technique. from this, and we'll discuss how that works later, Nighlin.
Sure.
And he like after reading the book for a little bit, he like falls back and he's still awake, but he's kind of like sore, like as if he had just done like the craziest workout of his life.
Oh, that was exhilarating. Unfortunately, I'm more awake than ever.
I can't believe that a living weapon just Commissioner, I mean, what can I say? I know how to pickle.
That's what I'm saying. Eden knows what he's saying.
And now the commissioner is like he's like about to slam his head into the wall. Osei, would you like to attempt to read the book or no? You can choose not to. I will not hold it against you. I'll tell everybody that you did.
Well, I can't be the only one.
Oh, challenger. Okay. All right. Step to the book. Now, Josh, roll intelligence and do two different rolls. Endurance and intelligence. We take the highest.
Okay. Here we go. Oh my god.
Okay. Try the other one. Okay. Oh, you know what? You rolled pretty good. The check is an 80, so you're getting a little bit fucked up, but it's like a little, like about as bad, if not a little bit better than what happened to Lemisk. So you begin scrolling through the book, and your problem, the reason that you cannot truly comprehend anything is because you are trying your hardest to memorize the words in the book instead of just reading the book. You're too focused on like trying to take as much information as you can that you don't realize that you're overloading yourself on information. You see the black swirls start coalescing around you for a brief moment. They do glimmer and take that prismatic form as they coalesce back into the black energy, and you too fall to the ground and pass out. And
Oh.
boom. And you guys wake up in the Graham's Disciples Infirmary next session.
Like that.
Hey, Commissioner,
Hmm.
could you wheel me in like I passed out?
Yes.
Just so the other two that aren't
Yes.
him
Yeah.
can think.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thanks.
And for that, I will say that obviously, the two scientists, Lemisk and Lake, you guys will get the reading the book point towards your unlocking your skill for your character quest, and we'll deal with we'll talk about like what to do about you guys' curses and stuff. Well, quote unquote curses. All right. And yeah, that's the end of the session.